I've had a request or two for some video of some of the older vehicles and machinery in outdoor storage around here. So this would be the McCormick Deering lawn ornament. It's a 1530 tractor, dates to about 1929. That probably won't show up on the camera, but it tells you it's a 2236, in fact, which is the newer version of the 1530. I think they, I forget, boosted the cubic inches or something to get a little more horsepower out of them. So externally they were still a 1530, but they had a little extra horsepower on the belt and the drawbar. This one, get out in the better light here. This one had some home-built wheel extensions put on. You can see the originals were, I'm going to say, about a foot wide. So it looks like they've increased them by, well, another half a wheel. So more flotation, more traction. But those lugs, oh my goodness, what a ride that would be. I believe these might have originally had the angled cleats, but at some point they updated to what they call the spade lugs. That was a little loose. You can just imagine this thing would dig holes like a shovel. That engine is seized up as tight as can be, has been for 40 years. Got your Robin carburetor, great big oil bath air cleaner. Exhaust is covered to keep more water and snow from getting in, but really, I don't see this one ever running again. Check it out, it's got the optional PTO, which also seems to be seized up. So there you have it. Well, this is nothing new. Everybody's seen the 49 Mercury before in my previous videos. Just in case anybody missed it, here it is again. The 71 GMC, or maybe it's a 70, I can't remember. Complete, but not quite ready to run. It's been a while. It's got stale gas in the tank. Little bit of work. A guy could be driving it again. Chevy parts truck here, old C10, I'm guessing about a 68, 69. Powertrain's gone. Cab's pretty well gutted. I've used a few of the parts myself. Might have a few straight body panels left in it. Got a good wooden floor box. This one, I believe, has the does this have the coil spring rear? No, yes, this has the coil spring suspension. Whereas this one has the leaf springs. Plus my running C10 in the other shed also has coil spring. For the Cockshut equipment fans on the Facebook page, this is the original 240 cultivator my dad bought in, I think, 1956. It's a 10-foot model. He extended it to a 12 at some point in the 1960s, but the extensions have been removed, and I think I used them on the 247. So there you have it. Put some air in the tires and he's ready to go. Case Model 900 one-way disker. You guys in the South Country won't know what these are all about, but they were very popular tillage and seeding tool in the 1960s. This one's about a 1960-61 vintage. Still in operating condition. Just put some air in the tires, hydraulic cylinder to lift, hook up and go. 30-foot rod reader. Genuine Cockshut Model 15 AS semi-mounted mower. Gonna be a collector's item someday. 7213 seed right, probably worth scrap iron value. It's a little warmer today. We warmed up to I think about 10 above Fahrenheit. The sun is trying to shine. That east wind is not so nice, but here in the woods it's not a problem. Rabbit tracks. Looks like we still got a few bush rabbits here. I see machinery. There you go. Case 460 combine, or what remains of it. That's a KB3 International truck. That one was running about 30 years ago. Probably needs a little work now. Green Diamond flathead engine, probably seized by now. Here's your basic common run-of-the-mill Chevy, or is it a GMC? I'm gonna have to look on the hood. As you can tell by the growth of trees here, it's been a while. In fact, yeah, it's a GMC 9430, I believe. I think the engine is partially there. Cab, sheet metal, looks good. A Cockshut 40, one of my parts tractors, and a front end loader. A Twin-Drolic. Not that anybody's heard of that name before. My dad's first combine, Case Model A, pull type. This one had a 6-foot header on it. So it was slow going. About a 25 bushel grain tank, I think. And right up there was the power plant, Wisconsin V4 engine. Your table lift was a lever. You turn around on your tractor seat, reach back with all your strength, and raise or lower the header. The reel was basically non-adjustable unless you stopped and got out and pulled a pin and adjusted it. So there wasn't a lot of adjusting went on. Now, is it easier to go over or around? Probably go around. I gotta say, Case put some pretty good paint on these combines. Considering this is a 1949-50 model. Oh man. I think we're gonna have to take the long way around. And I do mean the long way. This is one of the older Cockshut 40s with the shoe style brakes. PTO has been removed and the delete plate installed. Hydraulics, I forget. I don't think it ever had factory hydraulics. The engine I've been turning over once in a while just to make sure it doesn't seize up. Pump a bit of oil down the spark plug holes. It looks like the blocking has collapsed here, so I'm going to need to jack that up and get it sitting up before it gradually sinks into the earth and disappears. Way back in the weeds there, or the trees, the Model 60 Massey Harris. Oh, what a jungle. That had the big 12-foot header, so we effectively doubled, or theoretically doubled, our harvesting capacity with this one. I think it was 1965 my dad got this. It's been basically sitting here since 1975 or so. The engine was in pretty good shape, your basic Chrysler Flathead Industrial 6. But after this many years, I would bet money that it's seized up tight as can be. Too bad it couldn't have been stored inside. But that's life. Spare sunned pickup for the Case Combine. That was an auction sale 560 Cockshut, a partial tractor. Piece of a front end loader here. This is a Massey Harris pull type swather, 12 foot. Geez, there was a 15-foot Massey back there. I must have walked right by, I didn't see it. But anyway, this is the older one, my dad's first swather. From early 1960s, I believe he got it. The swather's probably from the early 50s. It was not the greatest swather ever made, but got the job done. Here's the real prize. A corner cab window GMC. Got the shiny plated grille. It's another 9430, which is I believe a 3/4 or possibly a 1 ton. Used to be a tow truck. Used to have a big Braden winch on the back. That's gone. The framework is still there if anybody wanted to get back into winch work. I wonder, is this door open? Oh, yes it does. No raccoons in there. It had some floor rust, as I recall. I believe it was upgraded to a bigger... a bigger 6-cylinder engine. I'd take a wild guess at a 261 or something, but... Cockshut 40, spare wheel and tire. This is the 38 Ford parts car I dragged home in the mid-1970s. Obviously incomplete. The engine is inside this old log building, which will probably collapse on top of it one of these days. This old Ford still has some good usable parts. Surprisingly, quite a few of them fit my 39. That's the truck box off the KB3 International. And way back in the back is the truck I learned to drive on, or the cab and hood. That's a 46, 47 Ford, 3-ton. The engine for that rests in the log building as well. The frame, chassis, wheels was all converted into a pretty good trailer, 2-wheel trailer, back in about 1972, 71. Assorted scrap iron, all valuable stuff at times. That log barn was actually built by my great uncle in I'm gonna say 1907. Poplar logs. Who'd have thought they'd last all this long? But they're rotting off at the bottom. You can see by the sag in that roof. It's a big job to get inside there. There's a few more interesting bits of junk in there. That might have to wait for another day. So there you have it. Some of the junk and vehicles scattered around this farm. There's probably more I've forgotten, but I think this video is probably long enough for now.